hits hard and the lights shine bright. There's a show every week that just feels right. Pep got the mic and the inlet pride, breaking down plays with that hometown vibe. From Friday Night Lights to the college game flow, you know it's real when Pep says go. It's the Inland Sports Show. Stories come alive. Rivalries grow all week long, all right. Inland Sports, yeah, we're repping the IE, of course. Inland Sports, and Fernandez runs the show. Let's go! From hoops on the hardwood to the gridiron grind, Pep's calling out highlights you won't find online. Coaches, players, legends dropping one by one, talking victories hard and how seasons begin. Bridge city to city, from Riverside to the past, fans tune in cause the moments don't last. It's the Inland Sports Show. Stories come alive. Rivalries grow all week long, all right. Inland Sports, yeah, we're repping the IE, of course. Inland Sports, and Fernandez runs the show. Let's go! From the polar bears roaring to the sharks on the rise, Terriers, Titans, and the brave Huskies fight. Cougars and Wolverines under big stadium beams. Yeah, the Inland Empire.
The moment you have all been waiting for, the Inland Sports Show. We are live and amplified here on Wednesday night. My name is Pep Fernandez. We appreciate you tuning in as we break down what's going on here in the Inland Empire in our Inland Sports Show coverage area. In just a moment, we're going to talk football. In fact, we got a lot of football on this show. We're going to check in with the new head coach at Grand Terrace, Joe Jurado, the former head coach at Rim of the World. He's now at GT. We're going to check in with Coach. We're also going to hear from Chris Johnson, formerly of of Roosevelt High School and San Diego State. Just went in the first round of the NFL draft to the Miami Dolphins. We're going to hear what Chris had to say following his introductory press conference with the Miami Dolphins. Man, the Dolphins have had some local guys. Remember, Jalen Phillips was there. I know Jalen's now moved on from the Eagles and ultimately now the Carolina Panthers. Alexander Madison, hoping he's back with the Dolphins last season. So Dolphins like IE guys for some reason. That's awesome. We really think that's a cool thing. So we're going to talk about that. RCC baseball, they're in the playoffs. In fact, they're going to be hosting a SoCal Regional this weekend. We'll talk some Tigers baseball, of course. Norco versus Corona, that big 3-game series happening this week. We'll talk about that as well. And we're going to mix in a little lacrosse at the end of the show. So make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. We're going to lead things off in the pool at Riverside Poly High School. They just had the Ivy League Finals on Monday night. Tomorrow will be the Raincross Conference Finals at Poly High School. And then, of course, next week, the CIF Southern Section Championships, and then the state meet after that. Well, Poly has got a swimming twin sensation in Ava and Dash DeAnda. Ava has a bunch of championships. Of course, a D1 championship last year. She also has a state championship to her name as well. And Dash is on the cusp of doing the same thing. They're both seniors. They're twins. They're trying to go out on top with a couple more titles for Riverside Poly High School. And we're going to get to know the twins a little bit better. We'll talk some swimming as well, but we're about to get to know them a little bit better. Dash is slightly older than Ava, so I guess you could say Dash was a little bit faster getting into the world. But here is Dash and Ava DeAnda, the Poly swimming twins, here on the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports.
All right, now join us here on the show. We've got Ava and Dash DeAnda from Riverside Poly Swim getting ready for the conference finals Thursday at Riverside Poly, and then, of course, CIF right around the corner. And, guys, first, before we talk about swimming, let me ask you just about yourselves. I'm curious. You guys are twins. Who's the older of the two?
I'm older by just a minute, yeah.
By about a minute? Okay. So a little bit faster than Ava. So let me ask you this. Who of the two of you, who is the more competitive and who's the more chill of the two?
I think when it comes to swim, we're both equally as competitive. But like outside of it, I'd say I'm the more chill one.
Yeah, probably she's more chill. I don't know. It depends on what we're doing or where, but definitely both have competitive aspects and can be chill.
Okay, in terms of schoolwork, who's asking the other for more help? Like, hey, I don't get this. Can you explain this to me? Who's the bookworm and who's the one that needs the most help in the classroom?
We both have severe senioritis, so it's honestly like we're just helping each other. But I do ask for a lot of assignments I miss.
Who's the one that likes to sleep the most? Who needs the most rest? Like even before a big meet, like I need to take a nap. I'm gonna go sleep for a little bit.
Definitely me. I'm pretty much asleep from like 9 to 10, like every day.
Every day.
Yeah, so I go to sleep pretty early and I wake up like at a decent time, so I get a lot of sleep. But
all right, good stuff. Dash, who's the big eater? Like who's always eating? Has to have snacks, always likes to eat.
Me, I for the past couple of years, I've been eating nonstop. I don't know. I don't really count calories, but I stay eating for sure.
Yeah, he's a growing boy.
Yeah.
So obviously, before a big meet, you've got to put the right things in your body, right? You need fuel to have a good race. So, is there anything you guys eat, before a race, or the night before, or the morning of, to make sure that you're at your tip-top shape?
Yeah, I mean, for a while, I had like a lot of back issues or like muscle cramps. So I eat like basically around like 4 to 5 bananas a day. So a lot of bananas and I'm good to race.
Yeah.
How about you, Ava? Is there anything you have to have?
I recently just started drinking coconut water, and it's like really good electrolytes resource. And honestly, it tastes not that bad. So I recommend that. And also, bananas. It's a staple in the swimmer diet.
On a random side note, I was just at the supermarket and they had these packets of pickle juice that you put in the freezer. You freeze them and then you eat them like a popsicle. I haven't tried them. My daughter did. She says they're disgusting, but if you need the salt and the electrolytes, I guess that's a pickle juice. I mean, who knew? So, all right. Guys, let's talk some swim. I mean, obviously you both want to have a huge senior season and go out on top. So, Ava, let me start with you. What are your goals? I mean, you've basically conquered everything, but what's still out there for you? What kind of goals do you have for yourself now going into CIF and, of course, the state meet after that?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely, going into CIF, I'm doing different events. Not completely different. I'm still going to do the 100 free, but I'm going to do the 50 free and focus a little bit more on sprint. That aspect. So I want to win. I want to beat people. And honestly, the 50 is really hard to drop time in, but I think I'm in pretty good shape to drop time. And as long as I'm locked in and focused, and state as well, because I do really good on taper. And from my past experience, I really do plan on just trying to perform my best and embrace my competitiveness.
You know, Ava, the last couple of years, do you feel like you have there's a certain race and event that you're the strongest in? Or are you feeling like, hey, I want to try this, I want to do a little bit of that, I'd love to get the school record in this event? Are you kind of bouncing around a little bit?
Yeah, throughout the season, I think I do a good job at like bouncing around into like every event basically. But when it comes down to CIF, I think sprint freestyle, the 100 free, it's just my event. It's what I love to do.
Now, you've won a state championship. You're a Division I CIF Southern Section champion as well. I mean, at the end of all of this, what are you hoping to have? A couple more state titles? Yes,
for sure. I got B out last year, and that really motivated me this year to finish strong, and yeah.
All right, Dash, how about you? What's your goals for this? I know we got Rain Cross Conference coming up at Poly on Thursday, but you're going to wait and focus on CIF. Like, what are your goals now to get to state?
Yeah, I kind of didn't want to go to the league and conference meet because I definitely wanted to have like more of a better taper for CIF and state, because I just I don't know, being on taper for so many weeks in a row, it just doesn't really feel good. So, yeah, and I think with how I've been training in practice and like my consistent progression, I feel like I'm pretty locked to like drop a lot of time, and for sure the goal is to win both my events for sure. And then hopefully place high up at state.
So, I mean, first things first, at CIF, you have to place high enough, right, to qualify to get a spot at the state meet. So that in terms of like what's more immediate, that's what you got to do next, correct?
Yeah, I'm fairly confident that I'll qualify for state because I have the past 2 years, but I definitely just am looking to throw down a good time and win. You know.
So, Dash, what are some things that you can do? I mean, CIF is next week. I mean, but what are some things that you feel like you can still do to maybe lower time? I know, especially, it's hard this time of the year, right, to drop any time and try to get faster. But what are some things that you feel like you can maybe do, especially in training, that might help you before CIF? Yeah,
definitely. Just, I mean, trusting my coach is definitely important. Just most of the work has already been done. What the times I'm getting now is because of the work I did a month ago, you know? So I just have to make sure I keep locked on my taper, and then I'm certain that I'll be able to perform and I'll be ready on race day.
How cool would it to be at CIF, just the Southern Section, the CIF Southern Section meet, and both you guys bring home CIF titles? Like, have you thought about that? Like having two DeAndas at the top of the podium?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be pretty sick for sure.
Yeah.
Do you guys push each other? Are you guys competitive with one another?
We do such different events.
Yeah.
That it's like, honestly, sometimes if he ever does like a sprint practice, I'll be like, because it's like mainly freestyle for us both. He does like push me because there's not many other sprint freestylers like me that do like 100 pace, and that's like top end speed. So he does push me in that, but otherwise he's doing like 200s and 250s that I mainly do like 100s and 50s and all that.
Yeah, we definitely just push each other to like
Show up, for sure.
show up, stay locked, just keep improving for sure.
Yeah.
So do you guys come home and you're, I don't know, sitting at the dining room table or on the couch and you're talking about swimming, or do you guys try to, unplug a little bit, right, from the pool and be like, okay, let me think about school, I'll talk to my friends. Like, I don't want to talk about swimming all the time. And, how did you do at practice today? What was your time? How are you going to get better? I mean, do you guys try to unplug a little bit and relax?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think,
definitely more on the more unplugged side for sure.
yeah.
You are Dash more than Ava?
No.
Both of us.
Yeah, I'd say both. But
Yeah. We like to.
we talk about swim at times, but for the most part, not really.
Yeah, high school season definitely makes it fun to like talk about because it's interesting to see like club swim compared to high school swim.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely take a break. We focus at swim.
Yeah.
When did you guys start swimming? And did you start swimming at the same time? Did you guys get introduced to the sport at the same time?
Yeah, we like initially started when we were 11 competitively, like year round, but we've been swimming since we were 4 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
And we've been through it like together ever since.
So
Yeah.
competitively, and for you too, Dash, I mean, did you guys like absolutely love it at first, or was it something you had to grow to love? Like, I don't know if you guys played other sports growing up and then you decided to focus on swim, or how that worked.
Yeah, we played a lot of sports, basically everything under the sun. And then eventually we just realized this is probably what we're best at, and it's pretty fun. So then just at 11, just locked in fully on swim, and then she got really good really fast, and that just motivated me to try to like meet her at where she's performing at.
Yeah. And honestly, like, it really did kind of take him to literally grow to get there. But I think
Took me a while.
we've both always just been like hard workers since like COVID. It was like kind of all we cared about. That like really was like a turning point, I think. It like, yeah. And we stuck with it.
Yeah.
So, guys, I am curious, too, now, as we get to the end of the season, and there's a lot on the line, obviously. There's some goals that you guys want to achieve. But you try to, it's kind of a cliche, but enjoy the process, right? You're trying to soak in these moments, just maybe going to practice and hanging out with your teammates and those sorts of things because, hey, it is the end of the season. Our high school careers are coming to a close like this. Let's try to enjoy this moment.
Yeah, I think it's definitely hitting me a little bit. I don't know about him, but I have a lot of like younger girls around me, so it's kind of like a little bit hard to like connect, kind of. But I'm definitely finding ways to like romanticize swim again because burnout is real, and trying to definitely finish strong is motivating me, and I think that that's like special to soak in those memories and like because I'm not going to be with these people next year, it's going to be completely different, so that's important.
Yeah, I'd say me too, pretty much. Just staying locked, making sure I'm still good to go, but definitely soaking in these like final moments, final time with all my friends.
Mm-hmm. Now, Ava, I think you're already officially signed. What's next for both of you guys after high school?
Yeah, I'm signed to Cal Berkeley I'm majoring in psychology right now, which I think might change. Who knows? Mm-hmm. I'm really looking forward to it, to swim there, and yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm signed, and I'm gonna swim at UC San Diego, and planning on majoring in business economics, and just excited to go there and be in a new environment and new training and new coach, everything.
Well, that's awesome, guys, man. I'm so happy for all your success, and I know there's still some unfinished business out there for you guys the next couple of weeks in the pool. So best of luck the last couple of weeks here, and thank you for joining us here on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for
so
having
much.
us.
Inland Sports.
All right, that was Dash and Ava DeAnda from Riverside Poly swim here on the Inland Sports Show. Best of luck to both of them as they wrap up their high school careers over the next couple of weeks. And hopefully it concludes with a couple of championships as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got some great swimmers here in the IE, and they are certainly two of them. All right, when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, we're going to get to some football. Every offseason, there's a ton of coaching changes in terms of the high school football teams that we cover here in the Inland Sports Show area. And Joe Jurado, who had a lot of success up that rim of the world, he is down the mountain. He's going to be the head coach at Grand Terrace. He really likes what he has at GT. He is actually boots on the ground now. He is at Grand Terrace, still teaching at Rim of the World, but he is doing the spring ball thing with Grand Terrace now. So we're going to check in with Coach Jurado here on the Inland Sports Show right after this.
Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Bass Athletics in Corona, driven by passion and hard work, Bass Athletics helps student athletes push their limits, compete with heart, and build the discipline to succeed in sports, school, and life. Visit BassAthletics.com. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands with Dr. Marcus Paulson. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist that you can trust. And Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken.
The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun.
If you can give one piece of advice to young athletes, what would it be?
Take your academics just as serious as you take, even more serious than you take your athletic development. Learn different skills. Don't just train all day, learn to play the piano, learn an instrument, and have some hobbies. Invest in rest. It's all about being well balanced. And I think a lot of times student athletes, they don't realize how acquiring other skills translate to sports and what they want to do. It all adds up. Being someone that takes care of their responsibilities, takes care of business, it's all the same skill set. So build some other skill sets, make sure you get your rest.
All right, welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. It is that time of the year where high school football teams begin going through spring ball. A lot of them are in their spring practices already. I've heard of some 7-on-7 already coming up. So, man, here we go, already ramping up for another high school football season. And every offseason for high school football, we see a lot of coaching changes, teams going in different directions. And one of them would be Grand Terrace. It's kind of like dominoes. You know, we saw the great Coach Stengel at Redlands, he stepped down, and then Ryan Taylor from Grand Terrace jumped over to Redlands, and then Joe Jurado, formerly of Rim of the World, went down to Grand Terrace. So there's a lot of good coaches out there moving around. They're in high demand. And Coach Joe Jurado is the next man up at Grand Terrace. They play in a tough Sunkist League, and their non-league schedule is very competitive as well. So the schedule looks great for the Titans. Coach Joe Jurado had a ton of success up at Rim of the World, and famously had some really high-end running backs. I mean, these guys put up, who was the last guy? Tatum Ortiz, I think. I mean, they put up big numbers, 2,000, 3,000 rushing yards. And he feels like, man, he could have the same thing at Grand Terrace. He's got some great athletes. The numbers are good as well. So we might see a 2,000-yard back for GT as well. But don't be surprised if they throw the football a little bit as well. He's really excited about this team. Good size up front as well. They're going to spend a lot of time hitting the weight room over the next couple of months. So I don't want to steal his thunder. I've probably already said too much here. But here is Coach Joe Jurado from Grand Terrace High School on the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports.
All right, now join us here on the Inland Sports Show, the new head coach of the Grand Terrace Titans, Joe Jurado. Of course, a familiar name up at Rim of the World. Now he's at GT. And Coach, first off, what was it about Grand Terrace? There was a lot, every offseason for high school football, there's always openings. There's always schools, making transitions. But what was it about GT you thought, man, that's a place I feel like I'd feel comfortable. I feel like I could win. It could be fun.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on, Pep. Love being on with you. Love the show. I love the way you cover high school football out in our area. In Grand Terrace, we've always watched Grand Terrace from afar, right, at Rim, and we've noticed they have great athletes and they have wonderful facilities. And when the opportunity came up, I thought, you know what, I'd like to see what I can do down there.
And I think, when I say you or they, I'm not sure what, but you guys at Rim last season beat Grand Terrace. It was a close game from what I remember up there. So, I mean, you do have some history, at least playing Grand Terrace, so you know a little bit about the program, right?
Yeah, last 3 years, all 3 games have been a one-touchdown game. We've had great battles with them. Always respected their kids. Tough kids, big kids. And we always knew it would be a battle. Yeah, we got Grand Terrace at Rim this past season, but I feel real good about this team. And only been on the field one day so far. Today's day 2, so we'll see how things pan out.
You mentioned all the things that you like about Grand Terrace. You mentioned that stadium. I mean, it's one of the biggest, best stadiums we have in the Inland Empire. So when you first got in there, what's your to-do list of things to get the program to a point where you feel comfortable with it? I'm sure the list is long, but what are some things you're doing right now that you feel like you're going to get the Titans better for that first game of the year?
Well, I think one of the things that we're really emphasizing is physicality, getting back in the weight room. GT's got incredible athletes, speed, size, but they've also got really good guys up front. And so our emphasis right now in the spring is get stronger, get a little more physical. The style of game that I'm used to playing up at Rim of the World High School, be physical, put your hand down the dirt. That's what we're going to be doing down here. The kids have been great response from the kids. We're really excited to see what this group of young men can do.
Coach, at least at Rim of the World, I mean, you had some incredible running backs who put up some, insane rushing numbers. Could we see more of the same at GT, or maybe a little bit more throwing? I mean, or do you feel like you just mentioned, maybe you just answered it, but is it going to be very similar to what you ran before?
We're going to implement a lot of the similar concepts that we had at Rim of the World. You can expect that I'm going to try and find myself another 2,000-yard rusher for sure. And I'll tell you what, we got at least 2 or 3 guys on this roster right now that they're 2,000-yard guys. I know it. But we've got incredible skill. We have a great quarterback coming back and some incredible young receivers that can really move. You're going to see a lot more diversity in what Coach Jurado does on the offensive side of the ball. with the weapons I have available to me this season.
All right, Coach, so Grand Terrace is a Sun-Kissed League school. Of course, Summit is tough to beat. They're on top of the mountain in the Sun-Kissed, but there's some really competitive games in there. I don't know what your non-league schedule looks like, not to put you on the spot, but do you know off the top of your head some of those non-league games and what gets you excited about that non-league portion of your schedule?
Yeah, we got some tough ones. We open up a Diamond Bar at home, week 0. Then we go out to Palm Springs. Not going to be fun, right? Going to be a tough team there. We go to Redlands after that. We go out to Colony, and then we finish up a 4-game road trip up at Paris. And then we have Rim of the World High School down at our place. And that'll be an interesting, fun game, I'm sure. And then we open up league with, as you mentioned, Summit High School. They are definitely the kings on top. You know, Nick Matheny does a great job over there. Those kids are always ready to play. So we're excited to open up league that way. And then, of course, we got to get through Rupa Hills and Eisenhower to cap the season off. But we feel pretty good about what we have going into this spring. And, we'll be ready by week 0.
Yeah, if people are watching thinking, why are they playing Rim of the World where you guys are in the same conference and they have some of those crossover games with the San Andreas and the Sun-Kissed. So, that'll be a lot of fun seeing you guys play Rim of the World again. Coach, I know you just got there. You're just getting your hands dirty, and starting to get the spring ball going right now. But, on the field stuff, like you mentioned, run the football, be physical, some of the things that you did up at Rim of the World. Anything that you feel like, hey, here's a chance to maybe do something a little bit different. Like maybe we've got, more, the numbers are bigger here at GT. I've got more kids to, pick from. Now we can do a little bit more, different things, like think outside the box maybe. Are there some things that you feel like, hey, now I have an opportunity to maybe try some different things that we just didn't have at RIM because you just maybe didn't have the numbers or the facilities to work with?
Yeah, well, the glaring difference is the numbers that you mentioned. I'm excited to have a group of young men that I can go, a group of defensive players, a group of offensive players, which gives us the opportunity to spread things out a little bit more. When you got 10, 11 guys going both sides of the ball and all special teams, you kind of limit yourself on what you can do explosively. We got great numbers down here. The athletic ability just across the board is impressive. And we're going to be able to move a lot faster, get the ball downfield, and like I said, we got some pretty legitimate deep threats, great speed. So we'll be able to mix things up a little bit down here at GT.
So, Coach, between now and that first game of the season, what are some areas that you feel like, man, we've got to do this? Like, I don't know if it's weight room or we just need to get the plays down. Like, what are some things that you feel like over the next several months? Like, hey, I know we don't have a long build up until that first game of the year. Here we are going into the month of May. But what are some things that you feel like are critical that you guys need to do to make sure you guys are successful in the fall?
Well, you said it. The number one thing is we're going to hit the weight room. We're going to hit it hard. We're going to hit the weight room every day in the summertime. We're going to get bigger. We're going to be more agile, more flexible. Learning the installs, new offense, new concepts, right? Putting your hand in the dirt. Those are going to be critical for us to get down this spring, try and understand our base concepts. And then in the summertime, expand it out a little bit more. Some of those passing concepts that we were talking about. We're going to get that stuff in the summertime, but I'm really excited to see what this group of young men can do.
Well, Coach, are you going to miss the snow? I mean, you guys had some home field advantage up there at RIM, man. In November, who knows, man? It could be wet and cold and foggy. I mean, at GT, it's probably going to be like 75 degrees if you guys are in the playoffs in November. It might be a little bit different.
Hey, Pep, we got wind and trains. And there's 4 donkeys that sit right outside our stadium every single day. We'll stick those donkeys on an opponent if we have to.
You know what? Every place has its own characteristics, right? It makes it unique, and GT certainly has that as well. Coach, always appreciate our conversations. Congratulations on the Grand Terrace job, and I'll have to come out there and see you guys real soon on the sidelines.
I hope so. Thanks for having me, Pep.
You got it. That's Joe Jurado, the head football coach of the Grand Terrace Titans here on the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports.
All right, that was Coach Jurado here on the Inland Sports Show. Best of luck to him and Grand Terrace this upcoming season. All right, when we come back here on the show, we're going to talk some NFL draft. Chris Johnson from Roosevelt High School going in the first round of the Miami Dolphins. We'll hear from him. We'll talk some college baseball, high school baseball, and mix in a little lacrosse as well. We'll be right back with more Inland Sports Show right after this.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and letterman's jackets. Bass Athletics in Corona, driven by passion and hard work, Bass Athletics helps student athletes push their limits, compete with heart, and build the discipline to succeed in sports, school, and life. Visit bassathletics.com. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands with Dr. Marcus Paulson. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist that you can trust. And Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken.
Fact versus fiction. Youth athletes need sport-specific training in order to develop speed, agility, and strength. The fiction is that you see all these kids doing sport-specific strength and conditioning, doing exercises they can't quite handle yet, and they don't need to, because all they need to do is get stronger, build core strength, learn how to jump and land, learn how to run, learning how to squat, learning how to press. Those skills are foundational for most sports. It doesn't need to be sport-specific quite yet.
Out here where the sun hits hard and the lights shine bright, there's a show every week that just feels right. Pep got the mic in the inland pride, breaking down plays with that hometown vibe. From Friday night lights to the college game flow, you know it's real when Pep says go. It's the Inland Sports Show. Stories come alive, rivalries grow all week long. All right, Inland Sports, yeah, we're repping the IE, of course. Inland Sports, Pep Fernandez runs the show. Let's go. Pep's calling out highlights you won't find online. Coaches, players, legends, dropping one.
Inland Sports.
The Las Vegas Raiders, right? They were the worst team in football last year, so they got the number 1 pick in the draft this year. They went out and did what we all thought they were going to do and got the quarterback from the national champion Indiana Hoosiers with Fernando Mendoza. And that wasn't a shock. Him going number 1 overall to the Raiders, not a shock. What was a little bit of a shock was number 13 overall in the first round was the Rams went out and got Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson, and that certainly turned some heads in the first round. So we love talking quarterbacks, and Ty Simpson was widely regarded as the second best quarterback out there, but going to the Rams at number 13, Patrick, I don't know if a lot of draft experts had that on their mock draft boards.
This is the story of the draft, if you ask me. And it's not the actual pick of Ty Simpson, which it clearly is. It's the root cause, but it's the body language of McVay, who seemed unhappy about it for sure. And then you hear the story about how Les Snead is really tight with the family. So definitely a lot of people related to, man, I'm kind of getting overruled by the boss here. There's a lot of people who think he wanted Makai Lemon.
Yeah, and that would have been another great receiver, a great weapon for Matt Stafford and that offense. But, you know, I mean, Matt Stafford's, 39, I think? So they're looking to the future. They got to find the heir apparent to Matt Stafford. Clearly, they don't think it's Stetson Bennett. Jimmy Garoppolo, there's rumors he might retire. There's rumors he might get traded to another team. He might not be in the picture at all. So I get why they did it. But, man, Matt Stafford, I'm not even a Rams fan, but I'm going to say this. Matt Stafford is coming off his best or one of his best seasons ever, the NFL MVP. They are in a battle with the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers have gone to the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row. Well, the Ducks won in overtime last night. They lead that series 3-1. Patrick, I watched almost that entire game. I hardly watch any hockey, but I had to watch that whole one. Dude, it was so dramatic. It was action-packed. I loved it, man. I'm not even a Ducks fan, but I hope they advance and get past the Oilers.
No, it is a 90s revival. We've talked about this before. The Avalanche are good. The Oilers. Yeah. I mean, the Ducks, my goodness. I am not a Ducks fan either, but I mean, I would love for them to win.
Dude, it was nuts, man. Anaheim was going bonkers. They love the Ducks. And again, playoff game, a dramatic third period goal to go to overtime, then a controversial goal in OT to give Anaheim the win. Dude, it had all the drama of a Stanley Cup playoff game. Dude, it was awesome.
Inland Sports.
All right, let's go. Hanging out with my boy Patrick in the morning on KCAL 96.7 FM. We're talking sports every Monday and Thursday morning on KCAL, so check it out. I'll see you, or you guys can hear me tomorrow morning. We also post those segments right here on YouTube as well. That's Patrick in the morning on KCAL 96.7 FM. All right, let's talk some NFL draft, man. We really covered, at least on social media, Francis Mauigoa, formerly of Aquinas High School, on that CIF Southern Section Championship team from 2019, going number 10 overall to the Miami Dolphins. But we had another guy from the IE, Roosevelt High School's Chris Johnson, going in the first round to the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins, I guess, love the IE guys. I mean, remember Jalen Phillips, formerly of Redlands East Valley High School, Miami, Alexander Madison, no, not drafted by the Dolphins, but he played for Miami last season before that neck injury. So IE guys have made their way to the Miami Dolphins, and Chris Johnson, another one of those, again from Roosevelt High School, played at San Diego State. First round draft pick by Miami. And Chris was introduced to the media down in South Beach, down in Miami, talking about the moment he heard his name called and got drafted, surrounded by family and friends, and his attitude, what he's going to bring to this Dolphins football team. So here is Chris Johnson from Roosevelt High School.
Inland Sports.
Yeah, crazy, man. It's surreal. Just, literally like watching my dreams come true, being surrounded by my loved ones, my family, my girl, and, some of my closest homies. But just being there with all them in that moment, seeing my phone ring, man, it was surreal. Like the whole day, I was trying to be as calm as possible. But as soon as my phone rang, like my stomach dropped, and, just the nerves and the emotions fell through, man. But it's a great feeling. I'm so excited to be here. Yeah, I feel like for me personally, man, I just my main goal is to get to the NFL, and I felt like, you know, just staying there where my feet were planted was, you know, something that I felt certain of. And you know, I didn't want to go somewhere and put a lot of question marks in the air, whereas if I like it over there, I may not. I may get along with the coach, I may not. But so I just felt like, you know, staying where my feet were currently planted was my best option to get to the league. At the end of the day, man, I feel like obviously this organization views me how they view me, and I feel like that's all that I really care about. I don't really care about any of the other media outlets. But like you said, it's definitely like something to prove, just, you know, people that's out there doubting. But there's always going to be people that doubt you. So, you know, just I'm going to always remain hungry regardless. Like, you know, coming from California, this is really the closest thing to it. It's a little bit more humid out here, but I'm just excited to get out of California, man. I've been there my whole life. I went to school there, but I feel like I was definitely ready to branch out and kind of, you know, get a new beginning, and I'm glad that it's here. Thanks. I feel like growing up, watching the draft and stuff, that always meant a team like really wanted that guy, and that was their guy, and they wanted to make sure that they got him. So, like you said, that definitely makes a difference in understanding, you know, my value here and for sure how the staff sees me.
Inland Sports.
All right, good luck to Chris, another IE guy in the NFL. We love to see it, man. Congratulations to him and his family. All right, from college football, right? You know, San Diego State guy getting drafted. Now to college baseball. RCC will be hosting a SoCal Regional this weekend in the Dirty Riv. Yeah, the Dirty Riv. The Tigers wrapping up the regular season. They took 2 out of 3 against Fullerton, including a big 21-3 victory. There it is, the Dirty Riv, man. Just giving it to the Hornets. Big 21-3 victory. Grant Gray from Norco High School, also at UCLA, bounced back to RCC. He had 6 RBI in that big win. So what does it mean? It means RCC is one of 8 teams in Southern California to host a regional. They will be joined by Santa Barbara and San Diego Mesa out there at RCC. It begins on Friday. It is a double elimination tournament. One team will move on to a super regional. So we'll see if RCC can take that next step towards competing for a state championship. But things are looking good for the Tigers in the Dirty Riv. So congratulations to them. If you want to check them out, head out to RCC beginning Friday and then all weekend long. Again, double elimination. So it's going to be several games in a row to decide who's going to win this SoCal Regional for RCC. All right, from college baseball, now we got to talk some high school baseball, man. And this is the series that we have all been waiting for basically all season long. And we finally get it, final week of Big 8 League play. It's our Ken Sporting Goods must-see game. Corona and Norco going head-to-head. Maybe the 2 top teams in all of the CIF Southern section. Man, what a battle. So we went into this. Norco was a couple games up on Corona, but Corona took game 1 on Monday by a score of 6-4 out there at the Wilk at Corona High School. So now the Panthers are within a game of first place Norco. If you're watching us live and amplified here on Wednesday night, they're playing game 2 right now. In fact, they're probably just coming off the field right now. And then they're going to play again on Friday. So, I mean, maybe we're talking about a co-championship in the Big 8 League. Norco trying to win it outright. So much at stake. But, man, 2 high-level high school baseball teams, 2 of the best in the entire country. What a matchup, man. This is, if you like high school baseball, this is it. I mean, we had some good games going on this week to decide league titles, but nothing bigger than Norco and Corona, a Ken Sporting Goods must-see game. And it was must-see, man. What a great series. And again, it continues today, and it will spill into Friday, and hopefully Friday will be a meaningful game as well. It might be. So we'll keep tabs on Norco and Corona. Another big series, too, Cajon taking on Citrus Valley. And Cajon entered the week 2 games up on CV. They won on Monday, so they were 2 games up. Citrus Valley won on Tuesday to get the Blackhawks within 1 game of first place Cajon with 1 more to go. So Cajon already has a share of the Citrus Belt League title. They can win it outright if they beat Citrus Valley on Thursday, but here's the deal. If CV beats Cajon and Yucaipa beats Redlands, it could be a three-way tie for first place in the CBL. So a lot at stake in the CBL for Cajon and CV going into their final game of a three-game series this week. So I don't know how you guys feel about having a three-game series each week. I think it's kind of fun as opposed to, playing an opponent once, and then a couple weeks later you play them again, and then a couple weeks later you play them again. It's fun having all three games in 1 week, like a true series, right? Like a true baseball series. So I think it's kind of fun, especially in the final week of the regular season when you've got two teams pitted head-to-head playing for a league championship, like Corona and Norco, like Cajon and Citrus Valley in the CBL. So it worked out well in this case, at least. So some big high school baseball games coming up at the end of this week. And finally, let's get to our Bass Athletics play of the week. We've got to give a little love to lacrosse. We don't talk about lacrosse enough, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a lacrosse expert, but I do like it. And we've got some good teams here in the IE as the sport is continuing to grow in the southern section.
Inland Sports.
The Bass Athletics play of the week, the Centennial Boys lacrosse team beating King High School in the Big 8 League Finals. The Huskies capture the Big 8 championship by a score of 18-11 against a King team that won the CIF Southern Section Division III championship last week. Both teams are headed to the playoffs for the Huskies. They are 17-2 overall. They will be in Division II. They will take on El Segundo in the opening round tonight. And then King, again, the reigning D3 champ, they are 12-7 going into the playoffs. They are back in D3. They will take on Laguna Hills. I mean, how cool would it be to see King win D3 and Centennial to win D2? Two teams from the Big 8 win lacrosse championships. We'll see, man. It's going to be tough. There's a lot of good schools over there in Orange County, but the IE is coming on strong. We got some good teams. And girls, too. Marietta Mesa. We had them on the show just last week. They've got a really great program for girls lacrosse down there. And the Big 8 League's got some tough teams as well. That's our Bass Athletics play of the week. Centennial beating King 18-11 for the boys lacrosse Big 8 championship. All right, I think that's going to do it for the Inland Sports Show tonight. We appreciate you guys tuning in. A big thanks to our guest, Joe Jurado at Grand Terrace. And, of course, the DeAnda twins, the top swimmers from Riverside Poly High School. Trying to win some CIF Southern Section titles, maybe CIF state titles as well as they go through the final weeks of the postseason for their high school careers. All right, if you've made it to the end of the show, make sure you give this video a like. And I know thousands of you have already subscribed to the Inland Sports Show YouTube channel, but if you have not done so already, please subscribe and even go the next step. Hit that notification bell and tell others about the Inland Sports Show if they don't know about it already. Tell them to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And again, some stuff we post on social media, so make sure you follow us on X and on Instagram. Still do Facebook a little bit, but some stuff ends up on social media that doesn't end up on the show. But there's a lot of stuff on the show that doesn't end up on social media, so you got to do both, right? So we appreciate you following along on social media and, of course, watching the show each and every Wednesday night at 7:05 p.m. And if you're a local business, you like local sports, you like positive sports stories in our community, hit us up, man. We'd love to partner. inlandsportshow@gmail.com is our email address, or you can always message us on social media as well. We would love to hear from you. My name is Pep Fernandez. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next time on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. Good night.